So I'm staring at this chart of PayPal, and this company is amazing because it has gone absolutely nowhere over the past 20 years, and it got a sudden spike after hours. And the reason why is because another payments company called Stripe wants to buy PayPal for $60 a share. So it says here, payments company Stripe and private equity firm Advent International wants to acquire PayPal for 60 a share that would value the company more than 53 billion. So, and the proposal follows an initial approach made in early April, and Stripe and Advent have not received a response from PayPal and are seeking to advance discussions in the coming weeks. So, PayPal, we got a pop from 46 to around $53. So that's about, 15%. And honestly, it doesn't really matter because, look, it's pretty much stuck in this range. And PayPal is an amazing company because, I did an interview with PayPal, maybe a couple of months back. And, this guy was talking to me about Venmo. And because he was like the head engineer at Venmo and how, he was so excited to, put emojis into a payments app. Like, do you know how absurd that sounds? Like, how stupid that sounds? Like, you're building all these stupid ass features for a fuck all app called Venmo, you know, and talking about putting emojis into payments, putting emotions into payments. Like, that's how stupid the company is. Like, the company has become so, so soft over the last, you know, decade and so directionless that I would not be surprised to see another company just buying this company up because obviously this company is in dire need of good leadership. And the funny thing is, over the past couple of years, they changed CEO three times. Different CEOs trying to lead PayPal, but couldn't pull it out of the mud for some reason. And so, yeah, very interesting for current events. And then in other news, we have oil rises as U.S. continues to strike Iran, naval blockade of the country's ports. So, this is also interesting too because, you know, early on Monday, I believe, when during market hours, Trump said that they would impose a 20% fee just to maintain the naval blockade and to protect commercial ships from transiting through the Strait of Hormuz. And on Tuesday, he walked back uh, that that toll. And funny thing is, at the same time, we had a pretty cool CPI reading come in, so that helped propel the markets a little bit. So if you can look at the triple Qs and the SPY, so you can see that we reached resistance around that 200 moving average on Friday last week. We got that gap down, and then we sold pretty hard around 2%. We got that move back up. So we're pretty much back at the crime scene where we got rejected right around 725. We're gonna see, you know, if we can push up to this next level of resistance, which is 737. I believe we can. I think this is the next area to target. And if we can get there off of like good PPI on Wednesday, then I would be looking for some sort of consolidation before we actually break out of this, overall triangle pattern that we have forming on the triple Q. Same thing on this S&P 500. You can see that, we're forming this triangle pattern, pretty much going nowhere. The S&P 500 is a little bit stronger than the Qs, but if the market were to break out, you would want to see strength coming from the triple Qs and the semiconductors. So the triple Qs always lead to the upside and the downside. We're gonna have to see that, coming out of the triple Qs in the next coming days if we were truly to break out. Okay, and yeah, all right. So next thing we want to talk about, let's see. U.S. trade official says very few NVIDIA H200 AI chips have been shipped to China. And how the fuck would they know that? You know what I'm saying? Like, people have been smuggling these chips through Southeast Asia for a very, very long time, and now he's bold enough to just come out and say that very few ships have been shipped to China. Like, who is he? See, NVIDIA representative declined to comment, and I don't know. I think he's pulling info out of his ass. He doesn't know that for sure, but yeah, very interesting. And then here it says current and former employees sue Meta alleging discrimination using AI to conduct layoffs. AI honestly has gotten out of hand. These companies are using AI. I think they're begrudgingly using AI. I think they've poured so much money into AI and AI infrastructure that to not use AI would be pretty much a stab in the back for investors. And so they're using AI in any way, shape, or form they can through layoffs, to conduct interviews, to fire people. Apparently, from Meta, and yeah, I think we're really in an AI bubble. I think AI is definitely the huge bubble is definitely going to come down and crashing. And we're gonna see how that all plays out, but we're just going to, play things, year by like day by day, right? And then SK Hynix options are begin trading. I believe semiconductors this um this evening has gone a little bit of a boost. If you look at Micron, it is up about 16 bucks. Not that bad. AMD is also up, right? And then if you look at SMCI, yeah, it's up a little bit. And then if you look at, SK Hynix, okay, it's down, but had a pretty nice run. And then let's see, what else do I want to talk about? IBM creators 25%, and then I believe yesterday IGV sector got hit pretty hard. We got Microsoft, which got a gap down and was subsequently bought up pretty quickly. We got ServiceNow pretty much behaving in the same way. So we got a gap down almost from like 112 to like almost a $12 move in a single day. So it affected a lot of these, software stocks, and probably, added to the rotation into semiconductors. We got bank earnings. The biggest thing to talk about is to look forward to actually this week is, Netflix earnings. So Netflix is a very interesting spot currently. I think Netflix is going to surprise to the upside based on technicals. This is purely based on technicals. I don't know if it can break down or not, but if you look at, how the weekly is setting up, we have pretty strong support right around that $70 area where we have, bullish divergences forming on the weekly time frame, right? Higher highs on the MACD and RSI, and then lower lows on the price action. So, and then right into support, and we've got this some sort of like wedge-ish pattern for Netflix. So, I would say like if it's going to get a positive reaction off earnings, the next level of resistance is going to be that 97 area, which coincides with that 50 moving average and 100 moving average. So this should give a nice boost to the technology sector over the next coming days. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Yeah, don't forget to check out my Substack at the Passport Portfolio .substack.com, and I post a lot of trade ideas on that website as well. So yeah, check it out, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.